Hello, Jim Lucan from Jim Lucan Outdoors. Today I'm going to get all philosophical and academic on you, and I'm going to apply the philosophy and the academics to a really important problem: how to keep squirrels out of your bird feeder. This is a ubiquitous problem, and I'm going to tell you right now, just by accident, I stumbled upon the world's greatest, the best, the simplest, and the cheapest, and the most foolproof method of keeping those pesky squirrels out of your bird feeder. Watch and learn. First, the philosophy. I'm going to apply to this particular problem, or that particular problem, the idea of Occam's razor. Occam was an old philosopher, but he had a really good idea, and basically his idea was, if you're faced with some complex problems and some complex explanations for things, always go with the simplest approach. And I'm going to tell you today, the approach I'm going to show you is, without a doubt, very simple. All right, I'm going to show you the simple approach, and then I'll show you how to build it. The approach I'm going to show you works like this. So, you've got a post, 4x4 post, and attached to that post is a 2x4. The thing that keeps the squirrels away are these overlapping flower pots. This one a big one, and a small one under here. And basically what happens is these things are loose, they wiggle around. The squirrels try and crawl up into these things. They can never get a grip on anything in there to get around them. And up here, my bird feeder and other sort of things, I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of squirrels try to overcome this barrier. Not a single one has done it. Okay, so here's the deal. You got to have a 4x4 pressure treated post. You got to have it sunk in the ground, and that's going to be the place where you're going to put your bird feeder. If I were you, I wouldn't put it near any of these trees like this one. This is just a demo. The real one I got out there isn't near any trees, because those squirrels will jump out of the trees onto this thing. But this post was here, so we're going to use this as a demo. Sink yourself a 4x4 pressure treated post in the ground, and then get yourself a 2x4 like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach this 2x4 to the 4x4. Drilled a couple holes in here. Now I've got a couple of long screws, and I'm going to screw these into the 4x4. Told you this was going to be easy. Now we got a pretty solid 4x4 in which we can mount a bird feeder up here. It doesn't have to be this tall. It could be about this high. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you don't have any trees around this thing, and make sure that your 4x4 is sunk solidly in the ground. All right, remember what I told you. This is simple. This isn't brain surgery. So here's what we're going to do. We got ourselves two old flower pots. The big one looks to be about 14 inches wide. The smaller one looks to be about 10 or 11 inches wide. So what's going to happen, this is going to go over the post. This one's going to go over the post. The little one's going to go up inside the big one. However, notice the 4x4 is offset. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little notch the size of the 2x4 in here, so that when it sits on here, it'll be centered. So let's see how we're going to do this. So have a 2x4 as a template. I'm going to just sit it on here like this. Make an outline, and notice it's off center. It's not in the middle, it's off center, and then I'm going to use a box cutter to cut this out. So let's see if this works. Be careful with the box cutter, please. Just like that. Going to do the same thing with the little one. Put the 2x4 on there. Make an outline. Again, not centered, off center, and then cut the notch in there. Again, be careful with the box cutters. These things will slice your finger faster than anything you can imagine. That wasn't good. Got it. Okay, we got the 2 pots. Each of them has a 2x4 notch in the side. Let's set this thing up. Small one goes on first. Put it on backwards, spin it around so that now it's centered like that. Don't nail it down or anything. Same deal now with the big one. Voila. That's all you got to do right there. You got the small one to kind of confuse them. You got the big one to really stop them. And there's no way a squirrel is going to get up here. So you put your bird feeder up here. Again, keep it away from the trees, and you're good to go. The Occam's razor approach to squirrel exclusion.